Well, hey, Dorian here. Hey, you are watching this video because you are an upfront host, okay? We selected you to be an upfront host, and we're excited about that because that means that you are a pretty cool and amazing person, and you're probably good at talking in front of crowds and speaking very well and engaging people and actually doing it all while just being your real self, like you're actually not putting on or trying to be someone else. So this is actually a pretty cool deal. So thank you so much for doing this, and we really appreciate it. So this is the Celebration Host Training that we are trying to put forth here in this video, and we're gonna just share a few nuggets to help you be successful in hosting a celebration, okay? So we call it a celebration host, but yes, you are doing announcements and you're hosting everyone coming into the room, okay? So that's the reason why we call it a celebration host, okay? So what I'm gonna do is just run through a sort of a guide here, just that will give you some coaching on just what we're expecting and wanting you to do as a celebration host. So, so first of all, this document here, we're actually going to hand this out to all of you, and each of you will receive one of these, and again, just as a guide, so you may watch this video first and then actually read this guide, whichever comes first. Feel free to do it, okay? But one of the things that I think it's important to address here is to, first of all, look at, so what are we wanting you to do? And then secondly, we're going to lean into what kind of things are important for you on the day of, okay? All right, so first of all, let's open up our document here, and we're going to jump right in. Okay, so first of all, we're wanting you to be you, and that's pretty much where this video started off, right? We selected you because you're good at being you, all right? And so we want you to basically just be you, all right? And so you are an amazing person, and we asked you to do this because you are amazing. So be you and have some fun. That's pretty much how this all starts, okay? And so just be you and have some fun. We always like to say, don't try to be a professional. Like, don't be so professed in it. You may go up front and giggle and laugh and make mistakes. Well, what it shows the audience is that you are a real person, and you're a fun person. So that's actually pretty cool, okay? All right, so secondly, we want to encourage you to practice during the week. Okay, so one of the things we want you to know is that we will be uploading the announcement form into Planning Center. So, and we'll give you a guide as to where you can find that on Planning Center, but on a weekly basis, we will be uploading the announcement form onto Planning Center. We'll also be uploading the shell. So this is the shell that you guys usually use that will guide you through what to say and when to say it, okay? So you'll also have this shell, and we'll also have the shell on Sunday mornings to guide you also, okay? But by having the announcements on Planning Center, this now gives you the ability to review and look over the announcements before Sunday morning. Back in the day, you pretty much would usually get it on Sunday morning and then find out what you would need to be announcing on Sunday morning. Yeah, that means you're really good, right? Well, we're going to stop that. We're going to now start uploading the document on Planning Center. So you should be able to go search for that document on Wednesday, or at least by Wednesday, and find it and start practicing your announcements, okay? Seating, we are asking you to sit in the middle aisle close to the front, okay? So that would be basically in these two middle aisles here, close to the front. The reason why we're asking you to do that is because whatever that thing is that's happening before you, we need you to be able to very quickly get to the mic and stand at the front and center of the stage, okay? So that's why we ask you to sit in the two front sections or the two middle sections of the celebration room so that you're able to get to the stage very quickly. Also, where to stand up front. We want you to position yourself onto the lower center stage. So you know where that lower center stage is, right over to my right. That's where we're wanting you to position yourself, okay? All right, so how to use the microphones. Okay, we are asking that you pick up the microphone from the holder on the front small stage. We usually will have the mics right there on the holder. I probably should have done this video over there, but most of you who have done this before pretty much know what I'm talking about. You're also going to turn on the mic And here's the most important thing about the microphone is that we want you to hold the mic up to your mouth, okay? I know it is very challenging sometimes when you're up there doing announcements and having to pay attention to where am I holding the microphone? What am I saying? Yeah, it's a lot that you're having to do, but we really want to encourage you, hold that microphone up to your mouth because it's very sensitive, and if you don't do it, people can't hear you, okay? So again, please hold that microphone right up to your mouth. That's the most important thing we really want you to know and understand about the microphone is that you got to hold it up to your mouth. And you're talking to someone who will forget as he's talking on the handheld microphone. So again, I want to say it again, hold the microphone up to your mouth, up to your mouth, up to your mouth, okay? And if you ever see someone in the back, like on the tech team, taking their hands and putting it up to their mouth, they're basically telling you to take the microphone and put it up to your mouth even closer, okay? All right, good stuff. So that's the most important thing about the microphones. After you're done with announcements, you would take the microphone, turn it off, and put it back into the holder, okay? All right, good stuff. So that's the most important thing about the microphone. Okay, so let's talk about using the upfront monitors, okay? So we have upfront monitors that are located in the center, on the right and on the left side of the room. They're right in front of you. So if you look on all three corners or angles of the room, you're going to see monitors. And then also if you look on the back wall, you're going to see a really big monitor, okay? These monitors pretty much are guiding you through everything that you have to do when you do announcements, okay? So first of all, they're guiding you through right from the beginning when you do your welcome to all the way to the announcements where you are actually going to see images of the announcements, which are basically telling you that's the announcement that you should be talking about, okay? A lot of times I would encourage you in the pre-celebration time period, that's a wonderful time when you do your run-through to actually look at the monitors and actually have some time to actually practice using the monitors. So that's really the best way to do it, okay? And that avoids you from having to have a piece of paper in your hand and having to read from that piece of paper. Again, if you are practicing your announcements or at least reviewing the announcements from Planning Center during the week, okay, you should really be flying through on Sunday morning just the format and what announcements are there, okay? So using the upfront monitors, they are really great and they really are there for your benefit so that you will avoid being a slave to your manuscript that's sitting in front of you, okay? So we want to encourage you, come on in and practice using the upfront monitors and you know, see how they work and see how they work with you as you're doing announcements, okay? Okay, good stuff. Okay, when do you go up front, okay? Well, while a video is playing, so usually we play some kind of video that happens right before the person who's doing announcements comes up. So while that video is playing, you should go ahead and move to the front center stage, okay? Sometimes we will see you all who do announcements stand on the side of the stage, but I really want to encourage you guys, keep in mind, a video is playing, which means people are actually watching the screens behind me and on the right side of me, okay? So that's the reason. These are transitional moments or times that we've created in the celebration for you to transition, okay? So the reason why these videos are being played is so that you have enough time to move to the spot that you're supposed to go to and position yourself there so that when that video is done, lights are on, you have the mic up to your mouth, and you're ready to go, okay? So again, videos are playing prior to you coming up so that you can transition into the position that you're in. Okay, so here's why sitting in the right location is so important. If you guys make a decision to sit on the side rows in the auditorium, that means that when you get up, you're actually standing in front of people who are actually looking at the screen. Or when you walk in front of the screen to the stage, that means that you're actually walking in front of all of these people who are actually looking at the screen. That's why we're asking you to sit on the aisleways, because while people are looking at the screen, you're heading towards the stage and getting yourself set up, okay? So that's why seating is so important, all right? Now, if you feel like you're sitting over here with family members, or friends and really would like to just sit with them over on the side aisles, what we would encourage you to do is to find yourself with enough time to get up, walk to the back of the room, and then walk down the center aisle, okay? Keep in mind, the center aisle is the sweet spot because no cameras are on the center of the aisle. Why? Because videos are playing. And if videos are playing, everyone's eyes are off of the center aisle, okay? So again, if you're gonna sit on the side rows, keep in mind, you need to get up and give yourself enough time to walk to the back of the room, to walk down the center aisle, to get yourself ready so that when that video is done, lights are on, camera and action, and you're ready to go, okay? So this is critical. This is major because we've seen a lot of you make the mistake of sitting on the side aisle and then getting up and standing in front of someone who's actually watching the video, not just someone, but everyone who's watching the video on the side screens and walking in front of them to get to the stage, okay? We want to stop that, okay? So just keep that in mind. All right, good stuff. All right, so at the closing, so you're done with announcements, you have prayed for offering and done your offertory prayer and all that good stuff, and now you're done. So the center of the celebration is finished. The middle of the celebration is now finished. The next time that you're going to be getting up is at the end, okay? And by the time you get into the pre-celebration meeting, your tech person should have already told you, like what song is going to be played, who's singing the song, and when you're supposed to get up to come up and do the closing, okay? So at the closing, this is the end of the message now, and this is, of course, closings can happen in a variety of different ways. Sometimes the speaker could actually be the end of the celebration, and the closer actually is going to come up after the speaker says the prayer. Again, in your tech team meeting, the pre-celebration tech team meeting, the tech team leader will tell you whether the speaker will actually do a closing prayer and you're going to come up after the speaker, or whether there will be a closing song and then you're going to actually come up after the closing song. So again, you'll get some guidance on how that's going to all work out, okay? And then let's see here, when the video begins, move to the center of the stage. Okay, so there are 3 different ways, according to the notes here, how a celebration could end. I just told you about 2 of them. Number 1, the speaker could close out the service, and he will usually close out with a prayer, and that's when you're up. The other way that it could happen will be if a song is actually playing, and at the end of that song, you're up. And then the third way that a celebration can close out could be a video. So in other words, the speaker is actually speaking, maybe the speaker does a closing prayer, and then we actually have a closing video to close out the celebration. Well, don't forget, while videos are playing, where is everyone looking? They're looking at the screens, which of course means you're going to get up. If you're in the center aisles, you're going to walk right to the stage and get yourself ready. If you're on the side aisles, you're going to walk to the back of the room and walk down the center aisle, and you're going to get yourself ready, okay? So don't forget, when a video is playing, everyone's watching the screens. You're not wanting to get up. You do not want to get up. You do not want to get up. You do not want to get up in front of people standing in front of them, which will cause a distraction and block their view of the screens and totally mess up that whole experience. So don't forget, head to the stage and be totally far away from them, okay? All right, good stuff. So you're at the closing of the celebration. Usually you will have a guide, again, in the closer document that you will receive that will guide you through how you're supposed to do your closing. And and you do your prayer, and that's the end of the celebration. Okay, so I want to talk to you about some things that are very important as you take on this role, okay? One of the most important things is that if you're supposed to be the host on the Sunday that's coming up, you need to prepare yourself to arrive to church at 8 a.m., okay? You need to arrive by 8 a.m. for the pre-celebration tech team meeting, which happens at 8:15. So that 8:15 is so critical because in that meeting, that tech team leader is going to tell you what you're supposed to do and when you're supposed to do it. So that's why that meeting is so important. So we really need you to arrive by 8 a.m. To be at the church for the 8:15 meeting that is going to happen with you. Now, that's only the 8:15 meeting where you're going to actually get some guidance on what you're supposed to do. At 8:45, they actually will do a run-through, and you're supposed to be that run-through person. So the worship team will actually do their run-through at 8:25, 8:30, 8:40, 8:45. But at 8:45, that's when we're going to actually take our celebration host, and if we have someone doing communion, and we're actually going to take you all through the run-through. If there's the speaker will also be doing their run-through at that time, and that's when you're actually going to do your run-through to make sure that your mic works and make sure that you're able to use the monitors and you have some experience and some practice using the monitors, okay? So again, at 8 o'clock, we really need you to get here. 8 o'clock, 8:05, however that works for you. But at 8:15, you need to understand there is a critical meeting that happens that you need to be a part of, and we really need you to attend that. Okay, so 8:15, you're in the pre-celebration tech team meeting. At 8:45, you're actually doing the run-through, and then at 9 a.m., you're actually attending the pre-celebration meeting that happens over in the children's area. After that, the celebration begins, and the next time you're up is right after worship experience. A video is going to play, and you should be at that center stage ready to rock and roll. After you do announcements, don't forget, you're also doing the closing, so keep in mind the tech team leader will tell you when you're supposed to go up and how that closing will happen for the celebration, okay? Okay, so critical pieces there. Also keep in mind, dress wear is very important to just keep away from wearing logos or personalities on clothing, offensive language, language that communicates any kind of political view or social views on clothing. Also avoid wearing tight-fitting clothes, you know. We really don't need to see all your muscles and all that stuff. And then avoid wearing clothes that maybe show too much skin. Don't forget, we don't want people to lose the focus as to what you're saying by seeing something else that you're wearing or something that you're doing, okay? So some key values when doing announcements: be authentic, just be you, like I said earlier. Also, practice, practice, practice. The more you practice, the better you'll be at actually putting forth and doing the announcements and being a great host. Also, be informative and engaging. So when you're doing announcements, you just want to make sure you are informative. You're giving the right information that is necessary for the person to know the when, where, and how to get to whatever the thing is. And then also be personable. Use personal stories and use testimonies as to anything that you might be announcing or talking about, okay? All right, so that's pretty much the coaching for the host role. Now I want to go over the shell with you. This is the shell as to how to actually do the host role, okay? So this is basically on the day of. So when you get the shell, it will guide you. It's pretty much a really cool guide. We worked on this really hard to make sure that it has exactly what we feel is important for you as a celebration host. So first of all, it's going to address students. Don't forget, in the first celebration, there are no students. Second celebration, we have our students. So we definitely want to start off by saying, students, you can head to your areas. If you're here for the first time, our students area is out in the lobby area. Also, you're going to just jump into the first-time guests arena, which is basically you welcoming those who are here for the first time. You want to welcome them into their room, and you want to encourage them to fill out a Connect card. Also, you could remind them, it's here in the notes. They can scan the QR code that's in front of them and actually fill out the Connect card that way also. You also want to identify individuals maybe who've been here for a while. You want to encourage them to consider being a Compass partner, and if they are interested, they can head over to Pathways and actually learn how to do that. We also want to make sure and recognize the weekly, which is just a whole bunch of information that people is going to receive just in regards to events and things happening around the Compass world. If people want to receive that, they can also scan the QR code and actually start getting that email to them on a weekly basis. And then you want to identify individuals. If they're online, you could encourage them to visit the website live stream page where they can find a lot of that information. And then you want to jump into number 3. Here's what's happening around here at Compass. I want to talk to you about a few things happening around here at Compass. Again, you've been practicing these 3 things or 4 things. We try to keep them to 3 things, but sometimes we do run over. And then you just talk about those things. After that, you're going to go into the 4th area, which is worship through giving. Again, we always like to encourage you to either have a scripture that you can read or a personal story that you can share. Please know personal stories of generosity are always just great stories to share. Personal stories of you being out with Focus are always great stories for you to share. Personal stories of you having experience giving within your family or within your household, or just for you as a person, are always great stories to share. And don't forget, if you can't think of any stories or anything like that, always go to a scripture, okay? And we'll try to have a scripture for you so that you would be able to read that scripture as you do worship through giving, okay? After worship through giving, you'll usually close out with a prayer. Okay, that's the middle of the service. You're done. Now you're going to get down to the end of the service. Whatever that thing is in regards to how they're closing out, it's happening. You're at the center stage, and now you're up. You can usually start off by saying, wow, Bob, that was a great message, man, that you just spoke, and man, that really spoke to my heart. Thank you so much. Hey, if you feel like you have made a decision here at Compass Church, we want to encourage you to pull up the next the Next Steps card. Oh my word, we have so many cards. The Next Steps card. And fill that out and take it over the pathways. It could be a decision for salvation, could be a decision for baptism, or for becoming a Compass partner. Please fill that out and just let us know that you've made that decision. Don't forget, the screens above you are screens that can guide you as to the Next Steps card and what's on it and what's coming up next. If there are any closing announcements, don't forget, we already have them into our system. So the screens will guide you as to what you're supposed to talk about next, okay? So don't forget, in that pre-celebration run-through, that's where you have the ability to use and practice the monitors from the front, okay? So you're going to go through the Next Steps card. After the Next Steps card, you can, again, encourage them to put them in the brown box or take them to Pathways. Again, if you're online, please go to our website live stream where you can find this information. Fill it out and turn it in for us also. And then here's some closing reminders. We always talk about Monday night prayer, which happens at 6 p.m. And then also we encourage people to take 3 Compass cards, which they can find at the doors. And you want to definitely mention that. And then after that, we usually will have some kind of closing thing, whether it's us reminding people to sign up for a life group or us reminding individuals to sign up for a pledge, okay? But again, whatever the closing special things are that we're asking you to announce, you will usually see it on that document that you'll find in Planning Center, okay? And after that, guys, you're pretty much saying, hey, guys, this has been a great service, and thanks so much for being a part of what we did today. Hey, have a great week, and we'll see you next week. That's it. You're done. Boy, that seems like a lot, isn't it? Well, here's the deal. You're an amazing person, and that's why we're asking you to do this, because we believe that you will do a great job in really, putting forth and making this happen, okay? Okay, so that's all I got. Hey, again, don't forget, we're going to give you the shell. We'll drop it off to you. We'll get it to you in some kind of way. And then also, if you have any questions, please let myself know or Jeff know, and we'll do our best at answering those questions for you. Again, thanks so much for taking this on and being a celebration host here at Compass Church. We really appreciate it. Alrighty, see you around.